Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Monday, September 2nd. Over the next few days, we will continue to have lightning across the area. Today will be the most active day for lightning as the moisture moves north into much of Idaho, northeast and central Nevada, and northern Utah. These thunderstorms will be a mix of wet and dry, but will be producing at least scattered thunderstorms with gusty outflow winds and brief rainfall. Also, drier air is moving into the western portion of the Great Basin as low pressure approaches, with winds increasing over much of the western half of Nevada, where wind gusts will be in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range and relative humidity below 15%. As we move into Tuesday and this low continues to push eastward, we will see those gusty winds move a little bit further east, although they won't be as strong as what we'll see today. We will see some higher humidity and breezy winds up in Idaho with continued thunderstorms. Warmer and drier conditions are expected from mid to late week in all areas. Over the last 24 hours, we've seen scattered thunderstorms over parts of northern Nevada and also into the Arizona Strip and southern Utah. This area of thunderstorms in Oregon that tails into southwest Idaho was lightning that has been occurring this morning. Looking at Great Basin fire activity, we saw generally light initial attack for 13 new fires for just over 63 acres with continued growth on our large fires in Idaho. Over the last 7 days, we've seen generally drier conditions across many areas of the Great Basin, and areas where we have seen some moisture near the Utah border or anything in Nevada or southern Utah has been below normal. ERCs have been on the rise with this warmer and drier weather, especially over the northern and western half of the Great Basin. We are seeing most areas of Idaho above the 80th and some areas above the 90th percentile, which also goes into Wyoming. We are also seeing these conditions in western Nevada and even starting to pop up in parts of northern Utah. Currently, some of our ERC charts today over the Salmon Chalice, where we'll start to see some of that lightning return. ERCs are approaching the 90th percentile. And then over northwest Nevada, where we'll see those gustier winds and drier conditions, ERCs are right around the 80th percentile. Looking at the satellite image from this morning, you can see the area of low pressure moving into northwest California. So this is where ahead of this low, winds will be increasing today, but this will also help push that moisture into northern areas of the Great Basin. And you can see that cloud cover and those showers and thunderstorms this morning already over eastern Oregon into southwest Idaho. So for later today, we will see that lightning increase with at least scattered coverage, if not numerous coverage over parts of Idaho. So we do have a large area of high risk for really all of Idaho down into northeast Nevada, back into central Nevada and northwest Utah for this increase in lightning, which will be a mix of wet and dry. Also, we will expect gusty outflow winds with these thunderstorms, which will impact not only the lightning potential impacting our current incidents, but also the gusty outflow winds. And then the high risk for wind over the western areas of Nevada as those winds increase with the drier conditions. You can see on the relative humidity, generally in the low teens over western Nevada, and then a little bit higher humidity as you go further east and north with that moisture. But you can see from the wind gusts, we'll easily see winds in the upper 30s over western Nevada, could even approach 45 miles per hour in some areas. So definitely a windy day for the western areas of Nevada, and then otherwise gusty outflow winds you can see indicated on the wind field with the thunderstorms. Temperatures today will still be warm, not quite as warm as yesterday. Temperatures are down a couple of degrees in Idaho, but still above normal for the time of year, so another hot day. And then you can see from the moisture field, thunderstorms generally widespread across Idaho into northern Utah and central and northeast Nevada. Looking into Tuesday, this area of low pressure continues to track northeast, so we'll see higher humidity and a little bit more moisture for central Idaho, which will moderate fire behavior and fire potential briefly up in our central Idaho mountains. But thunderstorms will push east, so we do have some high risk in western Wyoming and the northern Wasatch for lightning tomorrow, and also still some breezy winds and dry conditions where we will see lightning today over parts of eastern Nevada and northern Utah. So as the winds and drier conditions move in tomorrow, we could see some holdovers. Relative humidity on Tuesday definitely dropping across Nevada. You see a lot more single digits across northern areas as that dry air really starts to move in, and these lower humidities move into northwest Utah. However, on Tuesday, as that low tracks east, we will see that higher humidity across Idaho into Wyoming. So again, a brief reprieve for some of our fires in Idaho. But we will see some gusty winds as winds shift to the west or even northwest in some areas. They'll still be pretty gusty over eastern Idaho into Wyoming and then back down into Nevada and northern Utah. As we move into Tuesday, temperatures as that low tracks east will drop more significantly. We'll see temperatures drop 5 to 10 degrees across Idaho and closer to normal values for the time of year, or even slightly below normal. Precipitation, you can see here on the right, again, still expecting that moisture in Idaho and Wyoming and tapering off in Nevada. By Wednesday, we will see drier air move in across all areas of the Great Basin. Still could see some lingering showers or thunderstorms in the far east, but for the most part, drier conditions overall. And you can see the relative humidity dropping back down into the 20s over Idaho as opposed to the 30 to 40% we'll see today. And then wind gusts really drop off. Still some northwest winds, downwind on the central Utah mountains and up into Wyoming as that low passes by. However, generally much lighter than what we'll see today and tomorrow. Temperatures, as that warm and dry air starts to move in, will start to rebound and increase a few degrees on Wednesday in all areas. Still could see some moisture in the far south and eastern areas again Wednesday, but again, definitely drier overall. 3-day precipitation could see some spotty areas of wetting rains up in central Idaho and into Wyoming. Otherwise, moisture will be pretty limited and again, just hit or miss in some areas. And much of this moisture in central Idaho, the best potential would be later today into Tuesday. So we move into Thursday, drier air and high pressure dominating, so warmer temperatures, and you will see our significant fire potential, a lot more brown on the map as areas dry out very quickly. And then by Friday, we have another area of low pressure approaching, so we could see lightning increase in far western areas along the Sierra front. So we do have some high risk indicating that return of lightning in areas that really haven't seen much lightning recently. And then by Saturday, that moisture tracks north and east. So we will see potentially some high risk in parts of Nevada, also bordering us in California. And then moving into the weekend time period, that moisture spreads east across central areas. So we will see some modification of the fuels going into the weekend, depending on the amount of moisture. 7-day total precipitation, you can see much of this in Nevada is what's approaching for the weekend. Much in Idaho and Wyoming is what is occurring here in the next couple of days. The 8 to 14-day outlook, taking us from September 9th through the 15th, shows warmer conditions with potentially near or above normal precipitation. Right now, the models are leaning a little bit towards the wetter variety, so definitely not looking for below normal precipitation within this extended period, but we'll kind of see how that plays out. That concludes our briefing for today. Check back tomorrow for the latest updates.